Hi, Coach Brandy here. Somewhere inside you, there is a dream that refuses to let go. A quiet whisper from God, reminding you that your life has purpose. This is You Have a Dream, Living with Purpose podcast. Welcome back to You Have a Dream, Living with Purpose podcast. I'm your host, Life Coach Brandy, and today's message is one of my favorites because it's where you bloom where you are planted. That means what season in the life we're in. And this topic always gives me peace. It's a reminder that God doesn't need perfect conditions to grow something that is beautiful in us. Sometimes we're waiting for the next big thing when God is asking us to be faithful right here. Because your purpose isn't on pause. It's planted in the present. We thrive in the season. We are in the means of activity, embracing and finding purpose in your present circumstances. So as you're sitting here presently and you're planted and you're growing your faith and you're growing your purpose, and it's sometimes a trial and sometimes it's for growth, rather than just waiting for the next phase. Let's appreciate where we are right now. You know, this involves like shifting from a survival mindset to intentional living by nurturing and anchoring in our spiritual roots, finding joy in daily routines and adapting to change and growth, because sometimes growth is hard and it's painful. So, we live in a culture that always is reaching for what's next. But if you're always chasing the next thing, you'll miss the beauty of now. Sometimes we think that growth can only happen once we arrive somewhere new. Like a new job, a new city, a new relationship. But that's not true. God's been growing us all along. So growth doesn't wait for a new environment. It starts with a new mindset. So Philippians 4:11 says, I have learned to be content, whatever the circumstances. Contentment isn't settling. It's stewarding. It's saying, God, even if this isn't where I thought I'd be, I trust that you're still working here. To flourish, we need to embrace the season, and we need to stop focusing on when the season will end and instead squeeze out the purpose in it. We're going to squeeze out what we're supposed to be learning from this season and growing from this season, and just know that God's timing is always perfect. So we need to be stepping in, we need to be stepping each stone, like I've told you before, we're crossing a river, stepping each stone for growth. Stay connected to your faith. Even when God is quiet, He is moving in our favor. So, that's so freeing, because when we stop fighting our season, we start flourishing in it. So you can bloom in the middle of a transition, in the middle of waiting, in the middle of healing. The soil you're in right now is still holy ground. Where you are is where God can meet you. Not once things are perfect, but now as who you are. So as we're focusing on where we are now, we need to identify our rhythms. This continues on with what we've been talking about in this season. Manage your routines, mindful prayer, reading God's word, and gratitude. Lots of gratitude. Find something that matches your current energy, especially when our daily life is busy and sometimes chaotic. You need to trust the shift. We need to accept that some of this will be uncomfortable. It'll be uncomfortable in some of our relationships, in our environments. They can signal a necessary transition to a new, better season. Growth is not always comfortable. You also need to slow and sow good seeds, even in dry or difficult seasons, or, because sometimes our soil gets dry in our faith, in our closeness to God, because life does get chaotic. But sometimes we just need to slow our roll and take that time, that self-care time, 10, 15 minutes in the morning or 10, 15 minutes before you go to bed, to have your time with God, to grow your faith. So we need to intentionally sow positivity and faith through your actions and to prepare you for a future harvest. Similar to the Apostle Paul, learning to be content in all circumstances, including want or hardship, is a valuable skill developed over time. You have to trust the process. Difficult times are not intended to break you, but are often tests that lead you to personal growth or to learn a lesson so you do grow and learn from that mistake. Learning to trust God's timing rather than your own. So let's go into the little coaching. I'm going to talk about 3 ways to bloom where you're planted. So step 1 is see value in your season. And again, this is what is God teaching me here. Even if the soil feels hard, there's still purpose beneath it. And this is where we need to understand that it's not our